Hi, my name's Ilma and welcome to my channel. I've been posting Christian blogs almost 12 years next month, every day. Today I'd like to share Genesis 24 verses 1 to 9. Here's the word of God. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his household, who had charge of all that he had, "Put your hand under my thigh, that I may make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites to whom I dwell, but will go to my country and to my kindred, and take a wife for my son Isaac." The servant said to him, "Perhaps the woman may not be willing to follow me to this land. Must I then take your son back to the land from which you came?" Abraham said to him, "See to it that you do not take my son back there. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and who spoke to me and swore to me, 'To your offspring I will give this land. He will send his angel before you. You shall take a wife for my son from there. But if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be free from this oath of mine. Only you must not take my son back there." So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. Genesis 24, 1 to 9. And here's the poem I wrote inspired by those verses. Abraham makes his servant make an oath. To ensure that Abraham's covenant with God is fulfilled, Abraham made his servant promise to find the right wife for Isaac. She must not come from the Canaanites, and made him swear. Though the servant hesitated, he made the oath to his master. And here's my essay. It is interesting that Abraham, in his old age, continues to think of his covenant promise with God. By now, Isaac has not yet married, and Abraham wanted to make sure that he marries from his own kindred. There were doubts from the servant that the woman he finds will even come with him and travel all the way to meet Isaac from where they are, because they were living in Canaan that time and it was promised land to Abraham and his offspring. He didn't want Isaac to leave the place. Up to this point, Abraham kept his end of the covenant in his promise to God. Reflection. Why do you think Abraham didn't want Isaac to come with the servant? I think that the fact that Abraham chose his oldest servant meant that that servant must have had been with him since he left Ur of the Chaldeans, and since he left Haran, where his father settled. So I think that there was a promise that he made in his covenant with God, that it says there in verse 7, "The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and who spoke to me and swore to me, 'To your offspring I will give this land. He will send an angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there.'" So in other words, it's a part of his covenant that that Isaac will not marry somebody who is idolatrous from the Canaanite country. Even though God promised Canaan to be theirs, they were still living there in that country. So he did not want to mess up the fulfillment of the promise of God, that everything, that his offspring will be blessed, and he didn't want to mess it up with the paganism that is so against God. So I think even at his old age, I'm thinking that if he let Isaac come with the servant and something happens to him, if he dies at that time, then their hold on that promised land will be gone. So I think that's also one assurance that Abraham wanted to make sure that he stays where he is, Isaac, in Canaan. And it's also a good gauge whether that woman who is from another country will come all the way to Canaan to marry Isaac. So I encourage you to think of the things that you do. If you're doing something that is against God's will, or that is against the fulfillment of the promise that He made in your life, then you should do everything you can to make sure that that promise come into fruition. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ILMA'S.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I can make more videos, give you the Word of God. Have a wonderful day.